Has scored for Nigeria. Goal that wins the first ever footballing gold medal for Nigeria. Joshua,
to continue their impressive run to place Edo State in the continental map.
Toby Amazon, look at the clock. I cannot believe it. She's done it again. 2 world records in one night. And she makes history by becoming Nigeria's first world champion.
Alex Iwobi decides to go early. Chukwueze shapes the shoot, gets some spaces. Osimhen.
Yes, interesting time you want to say. Possible 9 points. We had just 3 as we speak en route to qualify for the 2026 FIFA World Cup after Nigeria fails to get maximum points against South Africa in Uyo on Friday. At this time, it's time to begin to bring out our calculators and begin to ask ourselves, how did you get here? 7 games to go. You want to say we still have plenty of opportunity to turn things around, but first we must make it count when the team fires out against Benin Republic at the Felix Aigio Stadium in Abidjan come Monday night. My name is Matthew Okugbe. The show is Sportsville. The regulars are in the studio. Tony Ubani is here, the big man himself, Frankie Laboya, and also Raymond. And not to forget, 5-time Olympian, Bosse Kafo. She's also standing by to bring us updates as far as the build-up to the Paris 2024 Olympics is concerned. So much to savor onto this package of the show. I must tell you, it's all about the Super Eagles. Stick around.
You can be an expert in all matches. You're an expert in statistics or people's opinions. OneXBet will help you show your expertise. Express yourself. You're the expert. You can be an expert in all matches. You're an expert in statistics or people's opinions. OneXBet will help you show your expertise. Express yourself. You're the expert.
Yes, amazing atmosphere to talk sports on this awesome platform. I must tell you, this is the place to be. Sportsville, saying it just the way it is. If you just joined us, you definitely haven't missed much because we are just getting started. Let's get to meet the guys. I told you earlier, Frankie Laboya is in the studio. Frank is just telling us how the Super Eagles did well, they tried, we should encourage them. Frank, feels great to have you back.
Well, thank you so much. Of course, I'm not looking or sounding disappointed, I must say, because I feel that we didn't do badly.
And then let's get to meet Tony Ubani.
Yeah, the beginning has always been very, very rough. If you look at very great people that triumphed later in life, the beginning is always a very rough way. And I think Finidi George has started on a rough road. We hope that he will also perfect the beginning, so that everything will, end up well.
And the friend of the Super Eagles coach, Finidi George, we also have him in the house. Not Finidi George himself, but this time Raymond.
Yeah, Finidi George, great friend when he was a footballer at Sharks of Port Harcourt, at Calabar Rovers, everywhere. Now he's coach of the Super Eagles, and I can tell you that I'm having some form of heartache over the kind of result we've got from the game against South Africa. The next opportunity will be tomorrow at Stade Ufo-Eboyi in Abidjan. The friendship will be decided after the match of tomorrow.
Yes, interesting. Frank, let me start with you. Let's start with the game against South Africa before we build up to that against Benin. Your overall reaction?
Well, I know that many Nigerians have felt disappointed about the match of Friday. I look at it, I'm not so. First of all, we must all agree that that South Africa team is one of the best in Africa, if they are not the best. In terms of cohesion, they are the best. In terms of understanding, they are the best. They also have a very good coach. And most of them are playing at home. That team, I want to liken to that team of West Half 1994, where we had a blend, where we had motion. That is the team we played against. And we must all agree, Nigeria must agree, first and foremost, that South Africa is the best team in our group. And their preparation cannot be compared to Super Eagles. We had a very shambolic preparation, what I'd like to know. 3 days, it's not enough. And for Finidi George to have taken up this assignment, I must give kudos to him. Fine, he has a good heart, he has a lion heart. Not many coaches would take up that assignment where we had a floppy start. 2 points at that time when he came in. Now we had just added 1 point. So I want to give kudos to the players. They did well. First half was not too good, but second half, if they keep up with that tempo, we will roast Benin Republic tomorrow. And it is only after tomorrow that I begin to look at the team. If we don't win, then of course that is the end of the story. But I do know with what I saw with these players, with the type of determination. So I'm sure we're going to get the maximum 3 points. And like we said in your intro, we have about 7 monkeys to go.
Yes.
No 2 monkeys are the same. This same team can go to Johannesburg or wherever and beat South Africans.
Wow.
So I think there's still hope. Don't let us lose hope. I don't want people to start okay, Finidi the judge. The man should rather be praised for taking up this assignment at the most difficult times for this country in every facet.
Interesting, Raymond?
Yeah, Finidi George knows, Finidi George and indeed viewers of this unique program know very well that I've always said I wanted a very credible foreign coach for the Super Eagles. It's also on record that the NFF settled for Finidi George because they do not have the money to pay for the kind of coach we are talking about. I hope the same patience, the same confidence they had in making him as the national coach of Nigeria will persist, not a situation whereby we now say the results are not good, then you sack him. There are still questions. Is it 1 year? Is it 2-year contract for Finidi George and all of that? But I know tomorrow's game in Abidjan is quite key. After that, we know how many years contract Finidi George actually signed with Nigerian Football Federation. But I can tell you that the likes of Kelechi Iheanacho, the likes of Paul Onwuashu, I don't think they had business playing that game against South Africa. They were lukewarm, they were lakadisa, and perhaps Finidi wanted to compensate them for arriving camp very early. There's no way I will admit or agree that Paul Onwuashu, despite what he's achieving in Europe, will be better than Victor Boniface. We all missed Victor Osimhen, and I said so the last time that some other serious countries would have made sure Osimhen or William Troost-Ekong were on the bench. Those guys on the bench, whether fit or not fit, none of them would be as good as either Osimhen or Boniface sitting on the bench. The ginger was not there. Our captain was Wilfred Ndidi. What was his input? He was a bit lost on the field. He may be playing all the games, all the great games you are thinking of at Leicester, but it's on record that Wilfred Ndidi is not a motivator. It's a stopper, no doubt. Yes. But after stopping, what next? We want somebody that can carry the ball to the opponents. And Victor Osimhen was missing. Ademola Lookman was trying to do it the way he did do it at Atalanta. But what is the firepower? What is the attack like? Finidi George must accept that the lineup was not good enough. And telling me after the game that he's relaxed and Nigeria should be relaxed. In Nigeria, when it has to do with the World Cup, we cannot afford to relax. So let him go to Abidjan. We have got two silver medals. Yes. Since start Ufeboyi in Abidjan tomorrow and redeem his image because there's pressure on Finidi George now, and I hope he's hearing us.
Tony, talking about pressure, are you afraid at this time? Is there cause for alarm?
There's no cause for alarm, but I think that it's important that Nigerians express their anger, because what we played, what we saw the Super Eagles play is enough to make Nigerians react, very angrily. And indeed, everybody is just speaking about that. And I think that Nigerians should speak out so that Finidi knows what he has taken. Like I told you, when we were starting, I told you that starting a beginning is always very, very tough. It's a very, very tedious thing for him. But then, as a coach, as somebody who really wants, to hit the road running, we did not see that in his selection. And of course, that every other person knows that Nigeria, the Super Eagles, have the most potent strike force, in Africa, even in the world. So it's really very unfortunate. It's frustrating. It's annoying. It's, it bites my imagination how Paul Onwuashu could start, the ball ahead of, Victor Boniface. And of course, Terry Murphy. These are some of the things that we must tell Finidi, and of course, him to should know. It's not about compensating those that came early. If he was going to compensate those that came early or those that came very late, he shouldn't have started those that they started.
Interesting.
Football is all about form.
No. Is there any way, Tony, that a coach will start all the strike force at the same time?
In a World Cup match, for example.
Yes. Is there any way?
Yes. There is a way for a coach that is starting, for a coach that knows that he's from Nigeria, that he needs victory, for a coach that knew what he went through in getting appointed,
he knows that
it should be all about you putting your best foot forward.
What I'm saying, are you saying that the team that played on Friday, they not have the best?
They were not better than South Africa.
They are not the best team that can beat South Africa.
But I said earlier that we must agree that South Africa team is one of the best in Africa.
Then that means we don't go to the World Cup.
Don't say so. What I'm saying, compared to what we play in Cote d'Ivoire, the Nations Cup, and what we saw on Friday, I think there's an improvement. So we have to be very cautious against that team. That team has cohesion. But I've seen some glimpses of hope.
With all due respect, I still fault you. I disagree with you. So you cannot say that South Africa is one of the best teams in Africa. If South Africa is one of the best teams, where do you rate Nigeria?
But I mean, you saw it.
Nigeria is a better team than South Africa.
In terms of cohesion, I think they are better.
If you're talking about the game, if you're talking about the game we saw on Friday, the South Africans were
even the one we saw in Cote d'Ivoire.
We won in Cote d'Ivoire, but they were the better team in terms of cohesion.
What has South Africa achieved that Nigeria has not?
Tony, let us talk about the present team now. What makes a team? Is it the players or the cohesion?
The South African team said they were coming here to beat Nigeria.
What I'm saying,
they were so close to beating Nigeria in Uyo again. Thanks for that equalizer.
I've said now,
and we only had a great second half performance.
I have said that Ali with the team we saw on Friday against a very, very tactical and cohesive team. I don't think the Super Eagles play badly. We can begin to. We have 7 matches. But tomorrow evening, we will now see whether the judge is ready or not. There was so much pressure before that match. Don't forget, we are playing at home and we need to win, and that pressure can get to the players.
Now, no matter how good you have teams, the teams that you have, the players that you have, bad selection will always.
But again, we are talking about selection. How long were you able to blame? 3 days?
That one should have known the team better. He should have known. Frank, everybody condemns about our preparation.
Fine. So
let's do this way. I would like us to look at the build-up to the game against Benin Republic. The Squirrels are also a very difficult side. Not to forget, as it stands at this time, they are also on 4 points. Remember, they stopped Rwanda from topping the group, and as we speak, Lesotho are on 5 points. South Africa on 4 points, Nigeria on 3 points.
Matthew, let me tell you.
Against Benin Republic, they are also a very good side.
No. That is where I will deviate a little bit, okay? Outside South Africa, if we struggle with any other country, under the judge, then of course I begin to have questions, okay?
Let's talk about Dan Debola Mokachi. We also saw the reports in the course of the week that it was laid bare that the conditions attached to his contract, he would not accept. Reason he wasn't part of the coaching crew in Uyo.
And apparently because of the pay as you earn contract by the Nigerian Football Federation. You know, about challenging the Nigerian Football Federation to come out with their contract, particularly as it affects
Raymond, hold on. Beyond the pay as you beyond the appearance, pay as based on appearance. Beyond that, but remember, there are other clauses in the contract that states that it is at the mercy of the head coach.
If
he invites Daniel Amokachi whenever he deems fit.
That is possible.
And I don't think that is good enough.
But remember, I said on this program too that I asked Finidi George, how do you see the coming of Daniel Debola Mokachi? Did you recommend him? Are you happy?
No. The question I want to ask now. Okay?
I asked him, and he said they've done as he wanted to do it.
No.
And I know that it's full of.
I want to start by asking Matthew a question. All the assistant coaches, are they on the same level with Amokachi, the same condition?
Yes.
Fine. Assuming because we have not seen their contract.
Yes, we have.
I feel that before you are given a contract, the Nigerian Football Federation must have discussed with each of them. either physically or through phone. There is no way you will offer somebody a contract without discussion.
Sure.
If that has been done, of course, there's a problem. But for Amokachi, I saw the reason he gave. Good enough. But I also want to tell you that there's what we call sacrifice in this country.
Yes.
Amokachi was part of 2013 Nations Cup winning team. He was part of our first World Cup ever. He has benefited from this system. I remember when they won Nations Cup in South Africa, the amount of money they got, none of them got less than 100 million. You know, you can quote me, none of them in this country. You know, so for instance, if the country is going through a very hard patch and you're asked to assist at this point in time, there's nothing wrong with that. It's not just about, listen, no, it's not just about money. It's about the sacrifice.
But,
you know,
yes,
I think Amokachi has benefited from this system.
Yes.
You know, to have rejected it at the time, good for him personally. But look at where we are in this country. If we fail to qualify for the World Cup, for instance, because of that small minus of Amokachi, which I think that should be an issue, then where will we be? Let's look at it from both ways.
Your take on this?
Yeah, Frank, I don't think nobody should blame Amokachi. It's a contract. And everything about contract is either you accept or you say no.
No, yes.
And from what we have heard, Amokachi has not rejected the contract.
Yes.
I think Amokachi spoke with Finidi and of course spoke with the Nigerian Football Federation that there are some certain sections of the contract clauses that he does not like, that are not favorable to him, and that these things should be amended before he will show up. I think the young man has paid his dues for Nigeria, and that does not mean if he earned 100 billion playing for Nigeria, that was because he paid. He paid for it.
Yes.
So that should not be judged with whether he should come and pay. Nobody is ready to die for Nigeria. Nigeria should do things. I think the Nigerian Football Federation. Nigerian Football Federation should know exactly what is good for them to do it. You cannot be coming pay as you go.
Yeah.
You know, at the behest of the coach.
Interesting.
Whenever the coach invites you, Frank, I think that thing is flawed.
That's absolutely not good enough. We're going on a quick break, and when we return, we'll still be talking the Super Eagles. Stick around.
You can be an expert in all matches. You're an expert in statistics or people's opinions. 1xBet will help you show your expertise. Express yourself. You're the expert. You can be an expert in all matches. You're an expert in statistics or people's opinions. 1xBet will help you show your expertise. Express yourself. You're the expert.
Yes, you're welcome back. It's still Sportsville. The focus at this time is to ensure that Nigeria gets back to winning ways in that very all-important game in Abidjan against Benin Republic. Frank, before we begin to look at other permutations, the Benin Republic game, I saw that Benin team against the Rwandese. I tell you, you underrate them, they will take you to the cleaners. And I would say, despite your optimism, we are in a very vulnerable state. I've told you
that no two matches are the same. Okay? You know, the Super Eagles I saw on Friday have the capability of destroying this chorus, you know, and they have to do it. And I've also said earlier that if they don't, then I begin to have question mark. You know, we didn't start well, so let us not forget that. But we are building up gradually. I saw a team of hope, you know, on Friday, and that team of hope. Then now that you know that we have our back on the wall, instead that they go there, like somebody will say that either you die on the pitch or you don't come back. So that thing I don't have any fear in my mind. We beat them, you know. Whether we qualify eventually is another ball game, but we still have 7 games to go. Yeah. No two matches are the same. Always know that. No two matches, okay?
Interesting. It's been so much on the Super Eagles, and it's time for us to begin to look at other sports. The build-up to the 2024 Paris Olympic Games, and not to forget, for the last 3 weeks, we've talked about Nigerian boxing. Our boxers were in Bangkok, and just in the course of the week, they got back. Out of the possible 5 slots to qualify for the Olympics, the guys were unable to nick just one. We were at the airport when they got back to Nigeria, and let's hear the guys speak.
Multiple award categories. How do you stay winning?
Simple. I keep my eyes on the game.
The problem came from when we are in Nigeria. Before they called the camp, other countries were in camp. but we were in our various gym. We were not in camp, and two, when they called us to camp, the food they give us was not good. The equipment that we used to change, everything was just anyhow. So we even getting the informations, registration for the Bangkok was that like we have to change in the morning, go to what did they call it, Keja, for some kind of information. So all those stress, we don't have time to rest, and still we still train again. That's why we were not able to get the ticket for Olympic.
The preparation was very bad. Before we were training on our own gym, before they call us for camp, 1 week camp. So, and even inside the camp they were stressing us. No time to train. Go after morning training, they will say we should go register for something. All those kind of a thing. A lot of stress there in camp there. So there wasn't good preparation the way it was in all African game. But in this Olympic qualifier, the camping was very, very bad. No good food, no allowances, nothing, and till now, nothing.
In Nigeria, no, our camp is not like maybe like 1 month, or it's not up to 1 month. 1 week, so what am I even saying? And no many equipment for training, even food they are giving us in the camp, God self, just like you get as it be. And when we go to Bangkok also, and learn a lot that if you want to fight a white, we have to beat her hands down or give her knockout. If not, that your win is 50-50. Because if you know how I would dream about this Olympic, though I'm still young, I still have many days to go, but I've been dreaming I'll become an Olympian at my small age, like this, so I can know what I'll achieve at this tender age, but God knows the best, yeah.
Well, the boxers, they really tried. They put in their best. We went there just to qualify. Though, the competition is really a tough competition. About 130 or 140 countries attended the competition, and only 30 countries got medals. We got to the final stage of the medal, the final day to qualify. But, it's just a pity. They fought very well, but they lost. But assuming there's money, the allowance was paid to them, and other incentive promises, I'm sure they must have qualified. Because what motivate athletes most times is monetary aspect. It motivate them to put more effort, to go all out to win. So, but when something is lacking behind, it's not not adequate, then you expect failure.
You can be an expert in all matches. You're an expert in statistics or people's opinions. 1xBet will help you show your expertise. Express yourself. You're the expert. You can be an expert in all matches. You're an expert in statistics or people's opinions. 1xBet will help you show your expertise. Express yourself. You're the expert.
I will show you. Junior, don't do that.
Sweetheart, no matter what you do, we show you love. So you can show more love to everyone.
Mom, how do you show more love to everyone? I will show you love.
Show some more love today with 4 more packs of your favorite Indomie noodles in Indomitable and Super Pack cartons. Also, each Indomitable pack is now 200 Naira, while Super Pack is now 350 Naira. So hurry now. Offer valid till stock lasts.
Wow, our boxers are back. This clearly explains the state of Nigerian sports, despite the cover-up we do, especially with the media. Nigerian sport, as we speak, is badly wrong. Simply put, Raymond.
Well, I don't have much to say about this, but I know very much that some of those coaches and, of course, boxers we saw now suffered a lot of problems regarding this failed bid to qualify for Paris 2024 Olympics. So the boxers were even begging in Bangkok, Thailand.
Yes.
They were begging on the streets of Thailand. Apparently, money did not get to them. Money that were supposed to be available was not just made available. So the motivation, some of those boxers you're talking about, food not being good and all of that, question must be asked. The federal government should investigate this one. Why out of about 51 slots available, Nigeria going with 5 boxers could not even get one. Let them probe this, do I call it a misadventure to Bangkok. Training our company is supposed to start for the boxers tomorrow in Ibadan, and there's still a lot of uncertainty. Federal government, please investigate what happened regarding this Thailand trip by Nigerian boxers.
Tony, before we go to Bossa is standing by to take this home. How do you give a coach $200 for 3 weeks as camp allowance? How do you give a boxer $100 as camp allowance for 3 weeks, and you send them out to a place as far as Thailand?
Matthew, it's laughable and it's dehumanizing. And indeed, I call out the sports development minister, John Eno. This is the time you have to act. This is the time. Let's see you walk. Let's see you talk. You've not really been doing, what we expect you to do. Now see the nature. See what our boxers went through. Begging out there in Bangkok, Thailand, far off boxers. And of course, you know that boxers need to eat well, eat the right food.
Absolutely.
It's not just for them to go begging and then, we're talking about the sports ministry doing almost everything for Nigeria to qualify for the Olympics. And is this the best way for Nigeria to go and qualify for the Olympics? The sports minister, we need a rapid response from you.
Wow, interesting. We must also put this out there that some of these boxers, including the coach, most of them paid their way to go for this tournament. They were asked to go source for sponsors. If the minister is watching at this time, if you need evidence, we'll serve you plenty. They were asked to go source for sponsors to go for these qualifiers. Not a good one. Bossa is in the studio. I hope she tells us something better.
Yes, Bossa Day is there for sports performance. But there is one thing I would tell people here. We don't need to bastardize the name of sport. And there is nothing wrong in calling a team for a week training. If you have a standardized team, that one is possible, meaning that you have your national team and they are training somewhere, you are monitoring them, you can do that. And I suspect that that is what they must have done for them to have called a week training prior to an Olympic qualifier. It's very difficult. But since they've already traveled, they didn't qualify. All those razzmatazz, we don't hit well, we don't do that. I don't want to hear that. If you know that you have not been given any money, at that time you shouldn't have bothered. Meanwhile, the athletes were talking. What about the secretary that went with them? So for me, as a former athlete, and I will forever advocate for the welfare of the athletes. It is only to tell the minister, to tell the government that there is need now to look at what the minister said concerning the athletes' welfare.
Well, an interesting package has been, but we are saying our byes at this time. That's the size of the show for today. Remember, the conversations continuing on all our social media platform. I remain Matthew Okugbe. As I would always say, in all you do, continue to keep a positive mindset and always pray for Nigeria. Bye for now.
I will show you.
Junior, don't do that. Sweetheart, no matter what you do, we show you love. So you can show more love to everyone.
Mom, how do you show more love to everyone? I will show you love.
Show some more love today with 4 more packs of your favorite Indomie noodles in Indomitable and Super Pack cartons. Also, each Indomitable pack is now 200 Naira, while Super Pack is now 350 Naira. So hurry now. Offer valid till stock lasts.
Emmanuel Amunike has scored for Nigeria. Goal that wins the first ever footballing gold medal for Nigeria.
To continue their impressive run to place Edo State in the continental map.